I don't care what y'all say, and y'all can miss me with that body positivity mess. Don't nobody want to be fat, okay? Now I know skinny don't automatically equal healthy, but we know for damn sure fat ain't healthy. Do something about it. Drop down in the comments and purchase these fine products to jumpstart your weight loss journey.
Hey girl, y'all hoes miss me? I miss y'all ass a little bit too, child, and I figured since I've been gone for so long, the least I could do is call y'all about the reunion for those of y'all that's still watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I must say, this reunion was somewhat entertaining. It did hold my attention. It gave me just enough to get my fix, but not too much where I'm disgusted. And so we gonna talk about it. Wanna talk about it? Here we go. Now, so girl, I've been gone for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off, and let me tell you something, y'all. This month, I just went on a little piece of vacation or whatever. I was like, you know what? It's the end of the month. I ain't did shit all month. I might as well just take the whole month off. You can kind of do that when you work for yourself and you got a cute little coin. You know what I'm saying? A couple months, whatever, just to get my mind right. So I'm going to give y'all an old nasty spring and an even better summer. That being said, y'all, did y'all get into the real old before we get into that? I know y'all wondering where my Instagram account is. Child, I'm wondering the same damn thing. Miss Kenny finally was able to bring her ass back down to the bar, and I was excited to see her. She had her Daisy Dukes on, and she was bent over on the chair posing. And I said, let me take a picture of Miss Kenny and posted it. I took that picture of Miss Kenny, I posted it, and like 3 minutes later, my account was deleted. I had been getting a lot of community violation things from Instagram. Like if I post something to be like, you know, this one funny bitch right here, she a hot mess. It'll get flagged for bullying and harassing. And while I understand that the algorithm is set to pick up certain words and phrases, the computer software cannot pick up context and intent. So for just the way I normally speak, or if I be like, ooh, goddamn bitch, get it, community bullying and violation, community bullying and violation. So I was getting a couple of those, and I guess me posting that picture of Miss Kenny was Instagram's final straw. I know a couple people. I'm trying to reach out to them to get it back. Hopefully I get it back, and if not, bitch, this ain't the first time we done been to this rodeo. We'll just start it all over. So y'all hoes pay attention, and that's that on that. Anyway, did y'all get into, I'm talking about last night's episode of the reunion, child. I partied so hard this Sunday, bitch. When I woke up, it was 2:33 this morning. That's a whole nother story, but bitch, the whole Monday, like a whole Monday just gone. I don't even know where it's at. I don't even know where my life was at Monday. It's just a whole day out of my life gone. Completely no recollection of the day whatsoever. Just completely knocked out. Anyway, did you get into tonight's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 reunion? Baby, you know whenever we come down to the reunion, baby, we always have to start with the fashions, honey, the fashions. Yes, those of y'all who been following me for a while, bitch, y'all know that deep fashions was coming. I don't like the bitch. I'll probably go to my grave not liking her, but baby, Kenya Moore gave you bitches what y'all want with the fashions, honey. Kenya Moore gave y'all what you want with the fashions. I would say number 2, Porsha gave it to y'all with the fashions, honey. She gave it to y'all with the fashions. Everybody else in the middle, I don't necessarily remember. Drew looked nice. Cynthia looked classy as usual, but there's not anything in particular that's, Cynthia had the deep V cut with the boobs smashed in. Cynthia looked nice. There's nothing like particularly sticking out. Cynthia always looks nice. But bitch, that goddamn Candy can't dress to save her life. I don't know what in the hot flying fuck that was Candy had on, but I'm just gonna let her have it in an effort to not give her too much. You had it on, girl. I guess we give you an A for getting in it. My mama said don't never tear nobody down. I done extending the hand to lift them up. You got in it. I guess that's a plus, child. Moving right along. The reunion opens up talking about Porsha's activism and whatnot. Let me turn this fan on. It don't got hot in here and I got a lot to say. The reunion opens up talking about Porsha with the activism thing, and great. My biggest concern was that there was all these TV shows were going Black Lives Matter the hell out of us. And as we're seeing these things begin to develop, that they're doing a very good job of keeping the balance. It was very disappointing in me, and I think it's so infuriating when people just have nonsensical, illogical, non-reasonable reactions and expectations of stuff. Kenya had to reverse engineer a way to to defend coming after Porsha in the activism. So let's just set this shit straight for what it is. All right. Kenya don't like Porsha. Porsha don't like Kenya. It is what it is. Porsha started doing the activism stuff. Word got out. Kenya jumped the gun, calling the girl shit fake. She's fake, using it for the show, yada, yada, yada. I don't believe it, because that's what enemies do, all right? The season begins to play out. They're doing the PSA. Porsha's getting praised for her activism. She proves to the world that she truly is doing this from a solid place, using her platform. Now Kenya's foot is in her mouth, and now she has to reverse engineer some type of way to make what she said all right. Let me tell you something. There is absolutely no logic, no logic, no rational reasoning in her activism is fake because she didn't invite me to be a part of the PSA. First of all, in what world do we live in where folks jump and rush to collaborate with bitches they don't like? Bitch, I don't like you. I don't like you. So on this Saturday, with this call time at 10 a.m., and we got to do a 10-hour day for something outside of Bravo, bitch, I don't want you in my space. Second of all, Kenya was making this argument like, oh, if it was really about the activism, she would have included me. It's not like Kenya being present would have enhanced the visibility of the PSA any more than it had. You had Cynthia, you had Porsha, you had Drew. It would have got the same level of notoriety with or without any of the other wives. She had had enough. So the whole argument was completely invalid and it was full of damn shit. But you Kenya stands gonna run behind it, and I'm biased because I don't like Kenya and everything is Kenya. And if it wasn't for Kenya, the show would be boring. And if it wasn't for Kenya, y'all wouldn't be talking. And the only thing he talking about is Kenya. I don't heard all y'all tired lies and alibis for so long. All I have to offer you is, I guess. Moving right along, Porsha and Dennis is over. Which I think we all see it coming. I love Porsha's answer that we are transitioning to being family. I think that's how we should be. I think Dennis should move on. You should move on. Y'all should all be happy. I saw, it was the Real Housewives of Miami in one of the early seasons. Anna Quinos, I believe I'm saying her name right. She was the attorney. Her husband was divorced, had a new wife and everything, but he would still come over to the house several nights a week for dinner. I had a girlfriend or something. He would still come over several nights or whatever and eat dinner, and they were still a family. Recently now, I have a friend, my friend Rosie. She's one of my good bar friends. She and her husband have been divorced since their child was little. Their child's now a senior in high school, but they're still family. She still go over there and eat. The husband was sick with COVID and stuff. She went over there and took him food. She goes in the house, so on and so forth. I think that was great, child. My parents got divorced. My daddy couldn't even come in our house. If him and my mama had to talk about something, she had to come outside and sit in the car. Okay, she would not let. And it's so funny because that's the type of dysfunction that many of us grew up in. But I'm all for, if you've moved on and you in another relationship, and this relationship is not as a result of you cheating on me with this person, then there's no reason that we all can't be one big happy family. And so I hope and wish Porsha and Dennis the best in transitioning. the family. Kenya begins to talk about Mark and her divorce. You know, it's true what they say, that when you just don't like somebody to their core, everything that person does is going to annoy you. Kenya upsets my spirit. She does. And I'm going to be very honest with you, and I've said this before. Kenya and Latoya Ali are the reason why I stopped watching the show, right? And again, I always preach this to somebody, to y'all, with social media and reality TV. I think it's mental illness when you hate somebody, or you don't like somebody, or somebody triggers and upsets you, and you continue to watch and complain and fuss and bitch and moan. If you know that this house is on fire, why the fuck would you walk through the door? So that's what Real Housewives of Atlanta is for me. I don't like them, therefore I don't like it, thus I don't watch. Or whatever the case may be. But I do jump in and out just for y'all, so I can stay semi-abreast of what the hell was going on. But anyway, going back to my point, she was like, you know, and I take my vows real seriously, and I'm a married woman, and that's why I wear my ring, and I'm married until the girl, let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you, Miss Kenya. You are not now, nor have you ever been married, okay? You listen to me careful, daughter. You are not now, nor have you ever been married. That man was never married to you. I know what that paper say. I know what the hell that paper say down in that courthouse. But as far as that man was concerned, he was never married to you. And as far as I'm concerned, baby, y'all ain't even been long enough for you to be tooting around my. I take my vows so see anybody who eat, honey, it ain't that hard to take them too damn seriously. You only have them for 2 weeks. Anybody can pay attention to something for 2 weeks. I take my back, girl, that ain't no damn wedding ring. That's a piece of costume jewelry. Take that damn shit off. That man will embarrass your ass all across TV and leave him the hell alone. And stop it with the I've been married. Girl, bye. You ain't even been married long enough to fight over the damn toilet seat being left up, or him shaving on the damn sink, or not taking the garbage out. Girl, y'all ain't even been married long enough to hit them bitch marks, girl. So stop. Because you might as well just take that ring off. That boy. Now I will, agree with Kenya that Mark is fighting for all the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? Especially considering she's not fighting for the family, not fighting about alimony, not fighting about custody, but fighting about the child being on the show. I'm curious to know a lot of times why the men do that, especially if they are with a trustworthy mom. Now I get in the very beginning when Lisa Wu Hartwell was on the show, we did not have any idea what this reality TV stuff was going to be. So Keith Sweat fought her for his kids to not be on the show. Fast forward though, and we look at how these platforms can also serve to help these children. I wonder, is there any regret? Instead of fighting to keep Brooklyn off the show, I feel like Mark should just have a conversation with Kenya about some boundaries and guidelines, and even put it in the paperwork. Perhaps I'm not no lawyer, but I'm one of the caveats I would be asking for is you can't use my child on this show as a means to bash me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a fair. Whatever the case may be. But if you look at people like Candy, who have turned her children into brands, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the positive uses for this show. You look at Dr. Heavenly's daughter, Alora. She has a glasses line now that's being, popularized by Heavenly and, showcased on the show. Her glasses line is now in Dr. Heavenly's store. Heavenly Beauty ATL. Y'all be sure to check out Heavenly's Beauty store. She got all your wigs, your hair, all that type of stuff, and she is open from 9 to 9 in Conyers, Georgia. You got Cynthia's daughter, who used to become an influencer. You've got Kim Zolciak's daughter, who's got the show. She's an influencer, and there's countless other example. So this could be a good stepping stone. I would hope that Mark and Kenya can get their stuff together and maybe reconsider that. I do respect and have to applaud the times when Kenya is able to own her shit. And I think that's part of what frustrates me about Kenya, is because Kenya cherry picks and chooses when she wants to jump in and out of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? On some level, she know what the hell going on. At other levels, she want to play all innocent. And for me, the times that you do know what's going on and you are conscious suggests to me that you're too smart to be dumb in some of the situations that you play dumb in. I honor that Kenya has enough self-awareness to realize that what she lacked in getting from her mother, that she is chasing in these bad relationships that she finds herself in. That was big of her, and anybody with a half an eye could see it. But now that she's able to acknowledge it, hopefully maybe she's able to fix it. Kenya and Drew fuss about the stray comment. To be honest, I guess looking at their history, I guess Drew retroactively got mad. But if me personally, if I walked in a party and the bitch was like, who are these strays? It wouldn't bother me, because I'd have introduced that bitch to who the fuck these strays was, and she'd have known by the time I left who the fuck this stray was. Yes, God. But it wouldn't have bothered me to the point where Drew was willing to sit there and have a 3-minute argument with her about the strays coming. I had to find out you was talking about me after the show. It's not like she called you a raggedy busted, broke down stray. Then we've got a problem. But just a blanketed, who are these strays, that wouldn't have bothered me. Then we move on to the Halloween costume debate, which, you know what, I'm actually glad that it's important that we have platforms like this so people can be educated. I think it's fair to say most of us in American society, particularly in my age bracket, we were indoctrinated with cowboys and Indians being a game, being a toy. I've grown up all my life watching people wear Native American costumes for Halloween, from Party City, at costume parties, at the office Halloween dress up. And all my life it has been a toy and a costume. And I was never educated on how it was offensive. And the Native American population is so underrepresented that there would have been no one in my sphere of influence in my life, around me, or in school to educate me about the culture. I don't come into contact with anyone from the culture or bits and pieces of the culture in my daily walk, to my knowledge. I don't. And so I think for so long that is why people have gone around wearing those costumes, or why they're even made. It's not known, and now that I know, you know what I'm saying, I will do better, and I will make sure that I share it. But now that I think about it, and correct me, and I want to make sure I'm comparing apples to apples, but I'm guessing that somebody dressing up as a Native American would be the equivalent to somebody dressing up and saying they're a slave for Halloween. Like, is that a fair comparison? Please drop that in the comments and let me know, because I'm just trying to make sure we have the correct understanding of what it is and what makes it offensive. Following that logic, I think I remember vaguely some chatter when I was at Florida State University about our mascot being the Seminole, the Florida State Seminoles, and they did the whole horse and spear and riding on the thing. And I think I do remember back then that there was some fuss about that being offensive to the Seminole people. And I mean, during that time, I was a drunken teenager in college. I didn't take out the time to really dig down deep. You know, I hate to say it didn't affect me, so I didn't care at that time. You know, charge it to my head, not to my heart. I was 17 years old. Nevertheless, that's what it is. But you know what? Porsha did bring up a very valid contradiction when it came to Kenya. It's like, you know, when you do something, you want immediate forgiveness. And I'm going to tell you one thing that Kenya has done too that the other girls need to learn to do. She's mastered the art of being able to freely give out apologies, right? But because she gives them out so freely and from such a cynical place, they actually don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing she do have up over y'all. If I said this and I offended you, I'm sorry. But then here's the other thing that she does that makes it non-sincere, is that she uses the fact that she apologized to you as ammunition for you to get over something, or for her to not be held accountable for whatever action down the line. Well, I already said sorry to you. Yes, I called your mama a bald-headed bitch, but I apologized to you for that. So we should move on. Oh yeah, I said your husband was broke and ugly, but I already apologized for that. So we need to move on. Oh yes, I did retweet something about your child and I was wrong, but I apologized about that. So why did you keep bringing it up? No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And I've told y'all this before in the past. In my life, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't accept apologies from adults. Me personally. And don't take that literally, you know what I'm saying? But I don't live my life in such a way where people just have blanketed passes to do shit, then apologize, and that makes it okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like free-flowing relationships that are easy, and I like mutual trust, love, and respect. You should love me enough, trust me enough, and respect me enough if you're that close to me to just not conduct yourself in a way that is going to hurt or offend me. Now, I understand that sometimes things unknowingly happen. People are inadvertently affected by some other people's actions, and for those, I'll take an apology. But bitch, if you just with full intent and competency shot me in the damn elbow, bitch, then you didn't know. You're not gonna. Sorry, didn't do it, so sorry, can't fix it. And that's how I feel about the situation. But Porsha brought up a valid point when she said, you know, I did the Underground Railroad thing, which was so many years ago, and you find a way to bring that up and want to use it to continue to shed negative light on me, but then you want to be instantly forgiven, and it is the truth. I wish that Team Porsha and Team Kenya and Kenya and Porsha would literally just both look at each other at the conclusion of the reunion and say this: I don't like you, you don't like me. By this point, it looks like we ain't gonna never like each other. Let's just keep it cute and stay out of each other's way. All right? I have no expectation for you to invite me to any parties, functions, or events. Don't expect me to invite you to any parties, functions, and events. But what I can offer you is that I will not talk about you to anybody in this friend group, to anybody outside of it, and I won't do no interviews about you. That's grown, lady. That's grown, lady. Because at this point, it's gotten old. It's gotten old. There's just, you know, and I'm not even finna waste my time talking about whose fault it is and whose fault it isn't, although Kenya has seemed to have had a problem with Porsha from day one, back from the Ashy days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put a little bit more of the stank on Kenya, but nevertheless, Porsha over the years has done her part to add fuel to the fire. It is just exhausting at this point. It does not matter. And I think as reality television evolves, because it is definitely evolving right now, the period of women rolling their heads, shading each other, jumping across tables, cussing each other out, the Nene Leakes, Evelyn Lozada, Tammy Roman, that, you know, loving hip hop, you know, Jocelyn Hernandez, that era of that style of reality TV, it's shifting. People are over it. It's got to evolve now into something a bit more creative, or something a bit more smarter, or something a bit more fresh, something a bit more uncharted. You know, people have a constant thirst for new information, new experiences, new knowledge, and we ain't getting nothing new at this point. And that being said, if this show is going to survive and these people are going to survive in these spaces, they are going to have to find a way to evolve along with it, or they are going to get left behind, and it's already showing in the numbers. Drew and Ralph talk about the baby daddy. That was a very important scene. I love everything about it. I actually love how how Ralph was participatory in the whole bridging, and how him and the dad are cool, because oftentimes you'd have had the biological father being like, what the fuck he doing here? That nigga not my child's son, I'm his daddy, move out the way. Then you'd have had the stepfather being like, well, I'm the only daddy he know, and now he trying to come in friends, yada yada yada. And I'm glad that it was none of that, and that Drew, Ralph, and the baby daddy did it in an environment that was comfortable for everybody, but most importantly comfortable for Josiah. Like that was really cool, and I commend Ralph for continuing to help foster that relationship and be the catalyst between the two. But the other thing, we're gonna get on Ralph in a minute. Here's another thing where I want to call bullshit on Kenya. Maybe I'm just set up different, but when somebody can clearly explain to you that something has hurt them to the magnitude in which Drew was explaining how that hurt Kenya, you are supposed to back up, not fight to be right, and just offer up as a human being, offer that person something to give them some sort of solace. Like, I don't take pleasure in hurting people. I don't. And if we're supposed to be a collective, if we're supposed to be a sisterhood, if we know for a fact that for the next couple of years we're going to have to try to work together, I find nothing wrong in saying, damn, I might have overstepped in this situation, and for that I am sorry and I won't do it again. Lightning's not going to strike, the Saints ain't going to march in and come kill you. And instead of that, Kenya's defense was, I retweeted it. Listen, social media has been around long enough. We understand the unspoken rules. And retweeting something is the exact same thing as saying it out your mouth. Co-signing something is the exact same thing as saying it out your mouth. Liking it or giving it a thumbs up, and considering how big your social media platform is, Kenya, it was a dig. Like, I would get further with Kenya if she was just an honest person and didn't gaslight the fuck out of me and everybody else and try to make you seem crazy. It was a dig. I would actually like you if you be like, bitch, I don't like you, that's why I retweeted the shit. I don't give a fuck how you feel. The people like that, those are the people I actually respect. If you gonna be wrong, be all the way wrong. If you gonna be wrong, be all the way wrong. Stand up in that shit. Bitch, I don't like you. I don't give a fuck about you or your damn family or your jailhouse baby daddy or your cheating ass husband in Tampa. That's what a real bitch would have said. And that's a bitch I can respect, because baby, now I know what it is. I see you for who you are. I know how you get down, and I'm with it. I know the rules of engagement. I'm with it. But all of this, I just retweeted it, and a lot of other people did too. So are you mad with everybody, or you just mad with me because you have an issue with me? Bitch, I'm mad with you. I don't know them hoes. I don't know Nancy in Wisconsin that's working at the DMV. I don't know Bridget that's working at Children and Families sitting behind a cubicle. I don't know her. I don't come in contact with them hoes. I come in contact with you. And you know better. Are you talking about my husband? That's your husband, not your child. But that's my child's father. Now you reaching. Because following that logic, every adult is somebody's mother, father, daddy, auntie, cousin. Come on. So cut it out. But Ralph, we gonna take some of the heat off of Kenya and put it on your ass. I don't trust Ralph. Ralph works in IT, and I don't put it past Ralph that he was smart enough, cunning enough to fabricate hotel receipts, strip club receipts, out to dinner receipts, credit card receipts. And the only reason why I say that, and at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you, if it was my relationship, I would almost want for my husband to have cheated or been fooling around and come out with it than to fabricate receipts to mislead me. And the other thing that is concerning to me is I'm going to give Ralph the benefit of the doubt, okay? If Drew says she's seen the receipts and she's satisfied with the receipts, then who am I to not support her and accept it? But my question is, and the deeper question, deeper than the infidelity or the potential infidelity, would be, why did you hold the information hostage? Why did you weaponize the information? That lack of information brought me so much pain, anxiety, and confusion that you were able to fix with a simple, baby, here's the receipts from the hotel, here's the dinner receipts. You could have fixed that in 5 seconds, but instead you let it linger. Before this show started filming, you let it linger on this show. You watched me cry with a camera crew of people around because now I'm feeling like my marriage is in shambles, and you let it linger. When you love somebody, your job is to love, honor, and protect them. You did not protect me. For what? And if the answer is ego, that is soul crushing to me. That, for me personally, I could not be in friendship or relationship, intimate relationship, with someone whose ego and pride is bigger than our union. All you had to do was tell that girl. And so for that reason alone, it's hard for me to believe now we're in counseling and now you've shown some damn receipts. You could have been showed them receipts. You could have been showed them receipts. And if I was Drew, don't get me wrong, counseling is the right step. But it would take a whole lot of improvement in your behavior for me to ever trust you. Because right now, I wouldn't trust Ralph. I wouldn't fool with it. And lastly, Latoya Ali comes out, and she comes out, you know, on whatever she's on and whatever transpired in the dressing room. You know, I feel like Drew did handle the situation according to whoever the person was. If she did not send the person down there and the person did that, then she was right for making sure that that person was no longer on the premises. And she apologized to Latoya on Latoya's behalf. But the thing about it is, Latoya, you know, y'all pick and choose when y'all want to be offended and when somebody crosses the line. But in y'all's antics, there's no line. With you and Kenya, there's no line defined when it comes to the shit y'all do. And when somebody else does something, there's a line, some imaginary line that's now been crossed. What happened with that person who supposedly went in your room because you sick was completely consistent with the behavior that your ass is giving all damn season. It is also part of the reason why my ass stopped watching. Because I just couldn't take it. So I'm not understanding why she's so bothered that somebody else beat her at her own game. Nevertheless, you know, Latoya Ali is going to bring her exhausting ass out on the next thing, and hopefully things going to get started a little more, y'all. I'm back at work, bitch. I got to go to the gym. It's 8:38 right now. I'm going to upload this. I got to go to the gym at 10. Then I'll be back to watch Married to Medicine and talk to y'all about some other shit. Bad.